Assalamu alaikum. He knows I like to walk around because I'm a people, natural person. You know, to understand the small sway of the room. Hopefully I'll have the Illuminati book next time I come. Sister I was planning to have the layout done by the end of this week. You have to go through send it to the printers, online printing company for the proof. They're gonna send us a proof back. We gotta proof the proof. It takes 2 days, so you know, if I don't have it next time, you know, it'll be done part of the week. Between 2 to 3 weeks, I'll have the book. All right, that's the Illuminati book, Illuminati Relation of the Mind. It's gonna be 20 notes for the book. Mosei Bey Part 1 will be available about in August, Part 1. That's going to probably be 33 notes. I upgraded this book with a new title. I'm no longer doing this. No longer doing wire hangers or spiral binding anymore. All right. So this book has this book here that I wrote in 2005 was laid out, published in 2006. The current title, the old title, which is the title I have on this cover, Deceptive Meaning Attributed to the Names America and Americans, How the Europeans Falsely Claim the Name no more. This is no longer the title. This book has 50 more pages. This is no longer the title. The new title of the book, which will be available in the summer, American or United States Citizen. American or United States Citizen. I'll have the landmass, the part of the Morocco with the central part of North America, what they falsely known throughout the world as United States, United States America /US/USA. All right? The land is Morocco. It's not United States America. It's not US, not USA. All right? So that's the new edition will be available in the summer. Then I have the Masonic Compass and Square and their connection to time keeping and measurement. That'll be available in the summer. I have 6 people working for me. Dino's one of my workers here. He actually started the website, structure of the website, whatdoesmasonryincongress.com. It's not active yet. I have to finish the letter. I've just been trying to get the Mosei Bey book, so we've been communicating. And he sent me the link. So it looks pretty, it looks good. It looks good. All right, so that'll be up soon. I just have to, you know, update the letter and add a few things. All right, so that's the update. Oh, paper. The next issue of the paper, Masonic Gate, looking at about, I want to do it in May because I'm going to a Masonic convention in Cherry Hill, or at Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And from May 15th to the 20th, Grand Masters from all over the country, Prince Hall Grand Masters from all over the country will be there. I'm going as a vendor. So I would like to go with the paper, so I can leave them with something. All right, so I'm trying to, hopefully I can get it out in May, you know, but definitely in June. So that's the next issue of it. My book cover is I'm going to market the Mosei Bey Part 1 on the front cover. The front cover of the book is going to cover the entire front cover of the newspaper. All right? So I've been mad busy. You know, just getting my daughter and so forth. It's just mad work. It's just mad busy. You know, tired a lot of times, you know, but it is what it is. I'm going to reread this. This is an excerpt of this. Etymology. You see the impact, the importance of etymology. Let me show you the article. The name of this article is "What is the Dollar? What is a Dollar? An historical analysis of the fundamental question in monetary policy" by Edwin Vieira Jr. By Edwin Vieira Jr. V-I-E-I-R-A Jr. You can Google this. What is a dollar? A historical analysis of the fundamental question in monetary policy. He is a constitutional lawyer. All right? I've had this for years. One of my former co-workers gave this to me. I want to read, you start here. All right, here we go. An interpretation of the term dollar as signifying merely the label the Constitution gives to whatever Congress decides to make the unit of money. It consistently applies to other undefined terms in the document, would render the Constitution nonsensical. For example, the noun year appears repeatedly in Article 1, particularly in Section 2, Clause 1. Quote, the House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every year, every second year, end quote. In Section 3, Clause 1, quote, the Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, end quote. Self-evidently, the framers used this term with the presumption that every word would implicitly understand it to mean the time the earth actually requires for one complete revolution around the sun, rather than a mere empty shorthand for a unit of time within the discretion of Congress to adopt or change. Yet, if the word dollar need have no fixed historical ascertainable meaning, neither need the word year. The principle of constitutional interpretation is precisely the same in both cases, as if the noun year need have no meaning more fixed than the noun dollar does in present-day monetary statutes, as above discussed. Then Congress could enact laws redefining a year so as to extend, for instance, the terms of the House and Senate to 10, 20, 100, or any other number of earthly resolution. Now, what that's saying is that words used in law must have a fixed historical ascertainable meaning. So the definition of dollar is not up to the discretion of Congress to change statute by statute, year by year, or even the word year, as he gives here. It's not, you'll see further that that's a scientific term used. It is a scientific definition for year that can be measured by astronomers. What is a year? All right? So it's not up to the discretion of Congress to say, oh, a year is now 600 days. A year is now 800 days. A year is now 400 days. A year is now, yes, in statute such and such. Yeah, in 1980, a year was 100 days. Yeah, in 2000, a year was 400 days. That's not how it works. All right? Of course, Congress may, with constitutional priority, appoint astronomers. Here we go. Appoint astronomers, physicists, and other qualified experts to determine with scientific precision what the year actually is. Congress lacks authority, however, to decide for itself what the year ought to be, or to declare the year to be whatever Congress may arbitrarily desire from time to time. Analogously, Congress may, with constitutional priority, appoint economists, monetary historians, and other experts to determine with climatic accuracy what the dollar actually was in the late 1700s. In fact, this is what Congress did do. Under both the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution that described below, Congress has no authority, however, to decide for itself what the dollar ought to be. Besides constitutional history and logic, economic analysis and history support an interpretation of the noun dollar as referring to a specific thing, the character of which was an ascertainable historical fact, that Congress was obliged to determine, rather than as constituting merely a political label that Congress could assign to whatever it deemed expedient. The nominalistic view that the word that would treat the term dollar as simply a convenient up as the unit of value is incapable of answering the question, quote, what is an abstract unit of value? And passes over in silence the question, quote, before ratification of the Constitution, was the dollar something that it ceased to be thereafter? All right? A historical ascertainable meaning. Now, this word here, mill, Moorish mill. The Moorish mill, falsely labeled Spanish mill. The Moorish mill falsely labeled the Spanish mill. All right, it's actually the Moorish mill. All right? That was the standard for the entire world. 5 Moorish dynasties ruled Spain for 800 years. 5 Moorish dynasties ruled Spain for 800 years. All right? The Moorish mill, this is why this history is important. So the basis of the unit of measurement for the dollar was the Moorish mill. You also had to have the piece of 8, where silver coin was broken up into 8 pieces, called the piece of 8.
Yes.
All right? We're talking history now. Monetary history. All right? So Congress does not have the authority to decide what a dollar is arbitrarily. It had already been determined, the value. The Moorish mill had already been in circulation. It ruled the world. It was a standard for the world. Moors ruled. Andalusia, 4 or 5 Moorish dynasty, 800-year period. So we must analyze things in historical context. Once you take things out of historical context, it's already distorted. All right? So here, the Moorish mill to the dollar. But the basis of its unit of measurement, was based off of something that was already in pre-existence, that was already in circulation, in dominant circulation. All right? This is where etymology is so important. So what is the historical ascertainable meaning of a word? Any word. What is the historical? How do you find that? What is the science called etymology?
Yes.
The historical ascertainable so what meaning? What is the historical? That's the question you want to ask. Any word. Any word. Any word. What is its historical ascertainable meaning? What is its etymology? What is its historical ascertainable meaning? What is its etymology? What is its origin? All right? Now you have semantics. Semantic. All right? What they'll do is they'll use a period of 100 years. So let's start with that 100. Year 0 to year 100. All right, 200, 300, 20 cents, say 400, all right? And they'll look at the connotative meanings that were developed over the period of a century. Because words are given connotative meanings over a period of time. So an etymologist is concerned with its what? Its origin. It traces its origin, its true meaning, and how that word, a particular word, was reconstructed over the period of time. Meaning, how does it change its form? Meaning from the word pater to father. All right, so you're looking at a reconstruction here, and from Latin to English, when the word is reconstructed, the P in Latin transliterates to the F in English. The T in Latin transliterates to the TH in English. So that's a reconstruction that takes place. Let's take the place to, as it moves from one language to another, it's changing its morphology, form, and its phonology, sound. So that's where the etymologist has those skills, all right, of tracing a word to its original form and seeing how that word changes forms in various languages. So there's principle in which that is done. Islam. Sister Salah got good news for everybody.
All right.
So a semanticist, so I study both, etymology and semantics. Semantics is the science of meaning, you know, how words acquire, are given connotated meanings over a period of centuries. All right? Any questions? Just want to get, you know, it was grammar today. Grammar. Let me, real quick, I said, you know, this book has a new title. And the new title is American. In fact, Sister Toy gave me this title. And I was telling her I wanted to, you know, come up with a shorter title. American or United States. And since she said it, it caught me. I said, all right. It's short, and it's also thought-provoking. What do you mean? You silly fool? You silly fool, Abdullah? What are you talking about? American or United States citizen, silly fool? It means the same thing. What do you mean? American or United States citizen? It means the same thing. Does it?
No.
Talk to me. Elucidate us. You say no, explain. You say no, which is not good enough, explain. Your answering no is not satisfactory. Tell me why no. I said, you said no, they're not interchangeable. No, they don't mean the same thing. So, all right.
America is the continent.
Okay. American is organic, original, indigenous. The United States citizen is someone who belongs to, who is a member of a corporation of a foreign entity.
All right, which one refers to, which one denotes the land? Denotes land.
The top one.
All right. So America, so American, so America denotes land. So what does this denote?
Status.
All right, so this is a piece of paper, so this is paper. This is paper. This is land. Because actually it refers to the land masses, you know, North America, Central America, South America. So this is, so let's, so let me just put land here because I don't have this, I don't just want to put, because I'll be incorrect by just putting that. Because the name America is not restricted to just geography. All right, you have here, all right, you have here, Mexico and Central America, all right, South America, and the islands. All right, so the name America is not restricted to this landmass. All right, that's another for us too. All right, so we'll say, all right, I'm here in Mexico. I'm in Mexico. I'm calling you from Mexico. I'm calling you from one part of America, and you're here, right? And you're this area. what they, you're in the Moorish territory where the foreign private colonial body politic called Maryland operates. All right? So I'm calling you from Mexico. And I said, so I'm calling you from one part of America. All right? I'm calling you from one part of America, and you're in another part of America. This part of America. But what has been done? The Europeans, occupiers of Moorish land, have distorted the name America and American and claimed it, claimed the identity, and also claimed the territorial sovereignty that's tied to it. All right, so good job. Good job. So the name of American and United States citizen are not interchangeable.
At all.
We must challenge that and challenge it and challenge it. We must challenge the European occupiers' false claim. All right, another one. In what country was George Bush born? In what country was George Bush Jr. born? Name the country. Name the country in which George Bush was born. Name the country in which George Bush was born. Name it.
No, was it Texas?
Texas? That's not even a land. Texas is not even a land. It's not even a place. It's not somewhere to go. It's not even a land. There's no land called Texas. There's no place to go.
What about the Republic of Texas?
That's not a place.
Okay.
That's not a landmass. That's not a country.
Concept.
Once again, name the country in which George Bush was born.
He wasn't born in a country. He was born in a continent.
Obvious.
Good. Oh, same thing. Yes, answer, correct. He was born in a country. George Bush was born in the country of Morocco. George Bush was born in a country. He was born in a country. The country in which George Bush was born is called
Morocco.
Thank you!
Interjection.
He was born on a physical landmass.
Exactly.
And the name of the country is Morocco. I will pound this in your head a million times. We got to get this down.
Go ahead, Joey.
We got to get this down.
Concept.
The name of this country is Morocco. What is the country in which Reagan was born? What is the country George Washington was born? What is the country in which Hillary Clinton was born? Thank you.
Can I make an interjection?
Please do.
2 interjections. How many people saw the movie Brad Pitt did
Give him the
called
mic.
Inglourious
Ryan,
Bastards?
give him the mic, bro.
All right, just two notes. How many people saw the movie with Brad Pitt called Inglourious Bastards?
Good movie.
It's about military operations, also weapons, trading and stuff. And at the end of the movie, as a matter of fact, Brother Ken was saying he actually exposed it in about 3 different movies he was in. And at the end of the movie, you know, there was some rotten deals where the guy was trying to cheat him. And he said, MF, United States is not a country. It's a corporation, it's a business.
That's right.
Pay me. And that's how the movie ends. Then, of course, when Obama goes to Hikupta, which is the proper name of Egypt, and he exposed that the American Constitution comes from Muslim law, and he goes to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Article 11 of the section of the treaty of Tripoli, which is the Treaty of Ceres transferring the empire. He's giving you a Masonic secret, and he's telling you the origin of the true founding fathers. For most people, it goes over their heads. Meaning that they use different methods to tell the people to remove the karmic debt on themselves, so in the future people can't say they weren't told. Which means you're consenting to your enslavement by rule of abandonment. That's why it's often used. Yield the floor.
Did I spell this right? Peninsula? Did I spell that correctly? P-E-N-I-S-U-L-A. Iberian Peninsula.
I think it's two
Here.
inches. 2 inches.
Take that off. There we go.
P-E-N-S.
All right.
Peninsula, S-U-L-A.
So that was a little just test to see where you are, and I will ask it again in different ways, and trust that you will pass it next time. All right? And I know we got to break the indoctrination. It took me a while, and, all right? Got to break it. You know, United States, United States, United States, United States, USA, U.S., United States of America, U.S., United States, U.S. It's been pounded from childhood, pounded, 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 pounded.
So it's a part of every part.
So I do have different questions. George Bush was born in the country. All right? How old is Morocco? The Moorish flag is what?
10,000 years.
And then some, question is B, 50,000, 50,000. Right.
Over.
See, that's the question. See, that's one of the Moorish questions. That's one of the questions in the questionnaire. That's not the question. The question is, how old is the Moorish flag? But I can say, how old is Morocco? I mean, if you understand how old is the Moorish flag, that's how old is Morocco, then he has to be over 10,000 years old. The flag is over 10,000 years old, so what?
So it has to be a.
Thank you. See how I phrased the question? See how I did it?
Obvious.
So I did that. Let's get you to think. Yes.
Why do you?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Where's the mic?
You got the mic.
All right.
You got the mic.
Okay. Why do you think that Why do you think that it's stated that it's over 50,000, as opposed to saying an even greater amount of years? If we think, or if we know that it is over, like we know it's not exactly 50,000.
Right.
So why is that the mark that we have been?
Child, you can answer that. I can't answer why he mentioned
It is to bring you to the realization that it was established before the cocoa plates shifted in the Yucatan, which means before what the European calls the continental drift. That's how long. Because it's a political statement to disregard any contemporary claims of jurisdiction, not only in the North Gate, because remember, the Shriners refer to themselves as keepers of the North Gate. So it is said with the qualification to both scholars and neophytes, but to neophytes because neophytes are being brought to a degree to at least adeptously equal the scholars in order to liberate you from the dark priesthood, knowing that this is how the world runs, but also knowing that the masses don't know that. Therefore, you're dispensing any claims of jurisdiction on any level by the priesthood under unum sanctum. Scholars know that, but neophytes don't, so they give you an average. So that your concepts whereas Europeans claim to have jurisdiction colonizing the West and etc. under the Spanish Inquisition, and therefore they brought you to America type mentality, it's all out the door. That's its purpose. And this is why you're prepared on that elementary level, and then you're later prepared for adult chambers. In other words, that's a preparatory degree, all right? And you have in some degrees understand that.
All right. So, like I said, 800 years we moved Spain. And we got, you know what the Matha High School? That's named after who? The founder of the Trinitarian. The founder of the Trinitarian was founded in 1102. The Matha founded the Trinitarian. Trinitarian was a religious order, they call it a redemption order, to raise money to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity. You have the Mercedarians, and the Trinitarians. The Mercedarians were established in 1082 in France. The Trinitarians established in Spain, or Andalusia, all right, because there was no Spain. There was no country called Spain in 1102. There was no country called Spain in 1002.
Didn't exist.
So I know, I love this author, done tremendous great research. He has a book called Moors in Spain. That's an improper title. It's an improper title. I know what the title of the book is. The title is improper. It's in the title Moors in Spain by Stanley Pone, who
Proper.
is historically incorrect.
Right.
Let's analyze, gotta analyze things. It's historically incorrect.
Exactly.
It's historically incorrect. You can't say, well, Moors were in Spain in 700. Moors were in Spain in 800. Moors were in Spain, ruled Spain in 900, 1000. It's improper to say that. Why?
Because it didn't exist at
Thank
the
you.
time.
Thank you. In 1469, King Ferdinand of Aragon and Queen Isabella of Castile married in November 1469, merged their kingdom and formed the modern nation state called Spain.
Exactly.
Castile and Aragon, so there's nobody on this planet who is Spanish. You've never met a Spanish person in your entire life.
Yeah.
Come on, talk to me, young
You
people.
may be
Never, I'll challenge anybody who's never in your entire life. You've never in your entire life met a Spanish person. You've never in your entire life, no one has ever met a Spanish person. No one has in this entire world.
Neither the language.
All right, talk to me. How do I know? But where are you coming from? Castile, they're Castilians or Aragonese, not Spanish. There's no such nationality. There's no such pedigree, ancestry, lineage.
Doesn't admit.
Because King Ferdinand of Aragon and Queen Isabella of Castile married in 1469. Castile and Aragon. Aragonese and Castilians. Now they're Spanish? Now the people are Spanish? Follow me, y'all. Just follow me. Just follow me. Just follow me in here. Does that now make the people Spanish? Come on, y'all. And when I broke this down to a brother, he's like, yeah, you're right. He was like, man, he was blown away. You're right. Of course I'm right. Come on. Spanish? Oh, well, I'm on Spanish people.
Connotative construct.
They don't exist. All right. Throw that out the water. It's called analytical skills.
All right.
that's all.
Inductive and deductive reasoning.
All right, so that's all. You gotta, so when you read, you have to analyze.
What was it that the two of them
Here.
formed through the marriage?
They united their kingdom.
Yeah. And what
Because that's what marriage of two kings, a king or queen does. That's the reason. The reason why it's not, I love you and all that. No.
And what was it called?
They united their kingdom. The marriage formed a uniting of two kingdoms for greater political power to defeat the Moors. The purpose of it, what is it called? It's called
The name of the kingdom.
Castile
Oh, I thought you called
and
it
Aragon.
Spain.
Castile and Aragon, two kingdoms,
Okay.
merged
Okay.
to form the modern day Spain.
To form the modern day Spain. Okay, that's I just
Through marriage. They did, the reason why they did that, what is the political motive?
To defeat the
Was to defeat the Moors. It gave them more, by uniting their kingdom, it gave them more political power. So, Emperor King Ingber, who came after Ferdinand, Emperor Charles V, who fought the Turks and the Moors. We captured 10,000 Castilians and Aragonese. And Emperor Charles V, because you hear he had Milan, Aragon, Castile, and four other, there was 4 or 6 other kingdoms.
Yeah, minor thing.
All right, minor kingdoms that was under his rule. All right, that's Emperor Charles V. All right, right after Ferdinand. Now, one of the dynasties, one of the Moorish dynasties, Sardinian dynasty, reorganized, and the Moors gained control of the seas in the 1500s. I'm going into this false land slave trade bullcrap. This is right to the false land slave trade bullcrap. This is Moors Masonry Part 1. All right? I list all the kingdoms and all the Moorish dynasties and the various emperors under each Moorish dynasty in the time period in which they reigned. So Moors gained control of the seas in 15, 16, 1700s. Gained control during the reorganization in 1500s. So they said the Portuguese and the what? Well, in 14, you ever heard of the Battle of Alcazar? The Moors defeated Portugal, the Portuguese in 1578. The Battle of Alcazar. Now, Morocco, the Moors, played an instrumental role in the Battle of the Armada, in 1588. It was Ahmed Moulay who actually, in 1585, through a commercial agreement between Morocco and England under Queen Elizabeth. Morocco and England had a commercial agreement in 1585, where Morocco, we supplied arms to Queen Elizabeth. And so that relationship that was established in 1585 enabled England to defeat the Spanish Armada in 1588. Where's this written in history books? Yeah, they said, oh, yeah, the English defeated the Spanish Armada in 1588. They don't talk about the agreement, the commercial agreement in 1585. What am I doing? Writing the Moors back into history.
Exactly.
What do? Write the Moors out of history. What am I doing? Writing the Moors back in history. What do? Write the Moors out of history. Moors, over time called nationality. I read George Washington letter to a $5 student in Kansas City Public School. we talked about the treaty. Over 5,000 students in Kansas City Public School. Over 5,000 students in the Kansas City Public School said, Mr. Bey, more, what's that? Huh? What's that? They wrote us out of history. As if we're inconsequential. If we had treaties with France. We formed an alliance with France, with England, all right, and the Netherlands. I have those treaties listed, coming from the Consolidated Treaty Series by Clyde Perry. And the reason to form, because they formed alliance with England to defeat Spain. All right? Because Ahmed wanted to regain control of that area. Same with the Netherlands. Where's this in history books? As if we never existed. What's the political motive of the historical cover, of the great, of the, not the historical, of the great historical cover-up? What's the motive? That the children don't even know, forget knowing that they're Moors. They never even heard of the nationality. Forget, they've never even heard of it. How in the world, with the tremendous power that we have, that the children never even heard, as if it's so foreign to them. More? What are you, a moron? No, they said that. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not. This is my book, Mosei Bey. This is my book, Teaching National to 5,000 students in Kansas City Public School. What do you mean? You're a moron? What's that? So I take out George Washington's letter. Treaty of Peace and Friendship. All the letters I've referred to. Mr. Bey, why isn't this taught in this school? Why don't we know about this? It's a political motive. What is that? The European occupiers do not want you to know your political power. So they can, the historical cover-up, the political motive is to concoct the transatlantic slave trade story, without question. So millions of our people think that our ancestors were transported by the Portuguese, the Portuguese, the Castilians and Aragonese, the French, the Dutch, from the 15th, 16th, 1700s. 10 million of us. It was 3 million. I'll challenge 3 million. I'll challenge 4 million. As soon as you expose the fact that we were political power in that time period, that stuff is, now you start re-examining it. And this is what I do in Motivation Part 1. I have multiple resources, multiple sources. The information is available. Dissertations, theses, books, letters, references, treaties. Information is available. Information is available. It's just knowing where to find out. And I studied the bibliographies of all the books to know where to find information. National Archives in France and Scotland, the Netherlands. Historical societies of various nation states. It's knowing where to find the information. No, they didn't hide the information. They classified us Negro, colored, black. They didn't hide the letters. They didn't hide the treaties. They classified us as Negro, colored, black in the United States Census Bureau. So you're not looking for more. Right, you're not looking for more. Anything. How am I able to find it? Because I know who I am. It's just that simple. I'm not trying to, it's just that simple. You think you black, Negro colored. You're not going to find it. You're not even in the mindset. The main information's been there. Historical societies, National Archives, there. So it's not so much they hit the information, as I said, as much as they classified as they were color black. All right? Questions? So I'm just as excited about getting this book out, or anxious about getting this book out as Frank is.
Yep.
You know, and I've been, like I said, I hope to have, my plans to have the rough draft done. Well, no, I will have the rough draft done at the end of this week. All right, so that we can start the layout of it. All right, no questions? All right. Just want to give you some, some of my research information. All right. So we play a huge role in world history. You can't talk about world history and not talk about the Moors. You can't talk about European history. You can't give me a book called European history. There's nothing about the Moors in there. It's not European history. That's trash. What up with that trash? It's trash. During the time period of 1500s, a lot of plagues emerged. Talking about because our power was overwhelming. We were seizing European ships, even as far, like I said, even as far back as the 900s, 1100s. And this was the reason why the Trinitarian and the Mercedarian was established, for the sole purpose of raising money, once again, to get Europeans out of the Moorish captivity. This was a major, major, major issue throughout Europe, major issue. Newspapers, reports, major issue. All right, so the information is available. All right, once exposed to our people in massive numbers, it'll actually cause them to question, to re-examine, and also lead them to political action. All right? Question. Is Hillary Clinton an American?
Now,
Is she? I didn't ask you where Hillary Clinton was born. I asked you, is Hillary Clinton an American?
Nope.
I asked him, is Hillary Clinton an American? All right, what makes Hillary Clinton an American? So his answer is yes. His answer is yes. What makes Hillary Clinton an American?
She's well, she was born in Morocco, so she's not American. She's Moroccan.
What makes Hillary Clinton a Moroccan?
She was born here.
All right, no. If Hillary Clinton were born in China, would she be an American? Chinese? Hillary Clinton, parents. All right, looking at what her parents are, what, English descent, or what's her pedigree? German descent.
She's like Welsh.
Welsh. Hillary Clinton. All right,
she's German.
she's German. All right, German.
All of them are.
Yeah, I was about
Oh
to say,
yes,
all them
yes,
German.
yeah. I'm going to explain that. Let me explain, but I'm explain that a little later. Let me explain a little later. After I finish
All of
this.
them
Let me
are.
finish this with him. I'm going to explain that.
The
So you
Yakubu
so-
experiment.
Hillary Clinton's mother and father.
They changed the name from
What are their
Indo-Germanic to Indo-Germanic.
Pedigree, bloodline.
The original name was Indo-Germanic.
Okay.
Before
They
Indo-European.
Chinese, their bloodline's Hillary Clinton's mother is
People
Chinese,
wouldn't know who they were.
her father Chinese. But not Chinese, so we say, all right, so her mother is not Chinese, and her father is not Chinese. But if she were born in China, you said she would be Chinese.
Well, that's the language, right?
Yes. So being born in a particular land makes you now claim the sovereign authority and the pedigree and ancestry lineage and the territorial sovereignty. Because that's what you're saying. You're saying, this is what, you gotta understand what you mean. You're saying, following you, saying, I asked you if Hillary Clinton was born in China. You said she would be a Chinese. What would that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? All right? You're now saying that she, by virtue of that act, she now claims the Chinese territorial sovereignty. All right? Understand understand the power of the nationality. All right? The claim is made through what? The nationality. The territorial sovereignty, the national sovereignty, all right? The rights to the land, all right? You're saying she now claims, has that, she now can make that claim. All right, so she wouldn't be Chinese then. She would be what? Based on the nationality, based on the naturalization laws of China, she could be what? Chinese what? Citizen of Welsh descent. And not Chinese. All right? So we're looking at just solely. And just, what's that? Just sanguineous. Just solely, write it so they can see it. Just sanguineous. So this blood, soil. So being born in a particular territory doesn't give one the sovereign authority and doesn't make them the nationality of the bloodline in which the people have authority over the land. We've been indoctrinated with that false concept. That's an occupational, European occupational colonial birthright stealing concept that they indoctrinated, with which they're indoctrinating you so they can maintain control of your land. So you, the sovereign, all right, by blood, are not challenging their false claim. I mean, our people who have that mindset are not in the mindset to challenge the Europeans' false claim. So they're walking around saying American, 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 and we're not challenging it. Because we think American means United States citizen. We think American means European. We think one becomes an American by virtue of being born here. No one on this planet, that doesn't make anyone, not even you, on this planet American. By being born on this land does not make even you an American. Why not? Because it's not based in where's your, it's based in just sanguineous. And not just, it's based in what?